It's 2023.
What's up? Hi, guys. So excited to be here. This is my new positive attitude for the new year. Hi,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, and keep your like monotone, like
Just like
yes,
that. Hi, guys. It's
this
so
it.
great.
Yeah,
It's the new me.
yeah.
I'm just trying her out.
Um, I like it. I don't know how long she's gonna be here, but
Well,
it's
probably
good.
not long.
Oh my gosh. I told Olivia before we hit record her backdrop was everything because these arches that she has painted on her wall look so
hmm
good.
They really do.
It's the moment, the arch
I'm
moment.
I'm giving y'all the messy artist moment, right? Like all this stuff. Mm-mm.
Oh, we didn't even plan this because I'm also giving y'all I study all the time. I got no place to be putting my books just because I'm recording moment. This is real life. Okay,
I
that's
don't know what I'm
delicate.
giving y'all. I'm giving
I
y'all it's fine, but actually what I see is a disaster.
Welcome to our podcast. Hey guys, my name is Olivia Hayward.
What's up? It's your girl Courage Molina.
Oh, it's Amber Likens, and this is My CEO Squad. Before you leave our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you never miss an upload. In the comments, let us know where you're tuning in from, and we cannot wait to get to know you more. Let's go ahead and start this conversation.
First of all, she almost lost her life trying to put on that blush sign.
Yeah, I have a bench back here that actually almost took my leg out. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's really a disaster. So I'll tell you, you have to first of all go to Olivia's channel, watch how she did these arches. That was super cool. I think it was a live that you did.
Yeah,
That was cool. Alan and I did a recording on Tinley Hill Events and Design YouTube, and at the end of it, he fell out of this bench. And I was like, what is wrong with you? And he was like, it's your bench. You and Olivia don't know how to put furniture together. And just FYI,
Which
we didn't
bench
put
is
it
that?
together. It's the little small
The
wooden
Brown.
little
one.
ones I don't like. Y'all know I don't like.
Yeah.
I never
First of
like those.
all,
I just be
we
like,
met.
I'm too big to be sitting in these. They don't feel secure. I can't even relax. My booty cheeks clenched. I'm sitting on the edge. Absolutely not.
We
Yeah,
didn't even put those together.
we didn't. But I
Clearly.
let him.
No.
Yeah, I let him have that moment, and I was like thinking to myself, maybe we did put them together and we didn't do a good job. But then I started thinking, actually, no, we bought them like this. But I put them together for him and I to do the recording, and then I put a blanket, so I keep forgetting it's two benches. So my leg just went in the middle, and Olivia, I was screaming. She was like, "What happened?"
No.
Just trying to
So
read.
that was this morning?
That was just 2 seconds ago when you couldn't get on.
Wow. You don't know
Yeah.
some of my tech difficulties.
Uh,
I'm trying to get this
yeah.
thing up.
First of all, we haven't talked to anybody. We haven't recorded in a while. And so much happened. I mean, Christmas break, and that really sends you in a space of, it's amazing because you can relax and you can really regroup and just rest, which is beneficial. But then two, us three, you would think, oh, y'all are probably on the phone every day. I was not talking to y'all, not intentionally. It's just, I consumed so much time with the boys and with Alan. We've never had this much time together. I don't think in our whole life. It was crazy.
That's all.
Really was. What did y'all do?
Oh man.
Olivia ignored us, of course.
Yeah, she definitely did.
Yeah, I experienced over the holiday time just because it was like a mad dash to wrap up the end of the year with so many different projects that I was working on. That I had like a burnout at the end of the year. So it was just like the time between Christmas and New Year's, I was just like in the bed, relaxed, not talking to nobody. I wasn't barely talking to my husband. Definitely
Y'all see me rolling my eyes on this YouTube channel?
wasn't talking to my wasn't on my phone, nothing, just quiet, still. I think I called it like just a moment of stillness and quietness that I had for.
No, you called it a silent retreat.
No, Courage called it a silent retreat. That's her language.
Which I'm all about. I'm all about taking a silent retreat.
But I don't think, because I wouldn't consider it a silent treat because I was definitely consuming content, watching things, all of those things. So I wasn't really silent per se, like in my sphere or whatever, but I was definitely not like on social media. I was not on social media. I was not on, unless you call YouTube social media, which is not. I was not on any type of social media. Wasn't on the phone. Wasn't doing no texting, calling, none of that. Just like in the bed. And then right amongst that, I got a little bit sick. So that stinks, had like a sore throat, all of that, like a little cold. So that actually took me out too, like right around that same time. I felt I wasn't feeling, 100%. So yeah, that was my holiday. So I definitely had a great Christmas. Spent Christmas with some friends, and New Year's, same thing. I spent some time with some friends, but like me and my husband were like in the bed by like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock to like 10:30ish on New Year's Eve. So nothing phenomenal. Nothing phenomenal. I remember back in the day, how we used to have like all these great New Year plans. I'm like, are we that old that we like nothing?
We ain't doing nothing.
I know.
I like being in bed early, and I liked to, in the past, I would record the New Year's like party and all that in Times Square because I knew I would always fall asleep and I wanted to always see the performers. But now I don't even know who's performing. They say their name and I'm like, I don't know who this artist is. I have no idea. But Dolly Parton was doing the New Year celebration with Miley Cyrus, and I really wanted to see Dolly. And we call her in our house Aunt Dolly because when we went to Dollywood, I was like, your aunt owns this park and she's related to us. She is amazing. I wish one day we can meet her, Aunt Dolly. So sweet. And the boys really were falling for it. Alan's like, you guys stop doing this to our kids. So now they're like, can we listen to some of Aunt Dolly's songs on the, like, play some of her music? I was like, yes. So I let them listen 9 to 5, which that's probably the first time I've actually listened to all the full lyrics of it. And then I let them listen to Jolene, which is not that great.
It's a great song, Jolene.
It
Jolene,
is.
Jolene, Jolene.
But then it's like, I don't want you to take my man. They're like, what does this mean? So now I have to like explain what this means. Like, but I do think it is a great song because obviously it has so much history. We watched so many movies to the point I actually shared this with Olivia. I don't know what call we were on, but I was like, Maddox is like crying at night now because I've set my kids up to like, and it's really easy to do this. If you do the same thing all the time, it becomes this natural habit. And I'm like, we're going to get on the couch in our cozy clothes with a blanket. We're going to watch a movie. I do this I would do it every single day, but we at least do it 4 times a week. And so there were like 2 nights or one night, I think I missed a movie. I was like, we're going to do a movie tonight, but we didn't because something, I don't know what happened. And he was like crying. He was so sad. He was like, Mom, but we didn't do our movie. And I mean, it was this whole dramatic thing. And then Maddox and I have a conversation. He's my 9-year-old, if anybody's listening. And then we go, I go into the bedroom after like we end the night or whatever to Alan. Alan's like putting his hands on his head. And he's like, it is like 2 teenagers arguing in his bedroom. He was like, you are arguing with yourself. How does that feel? And I was like, it really is so scary. Maddox acts just like me. He is so me as a child, as an adult. Like he is just me. And
he really is.
And so I explained to him and I was like, tomorrow morning we'll wake up in the morning and we will watch the movie. But he was so distraught. And so we get up in the morning and we watch the movie and it's awesome. And then I was like, because we've missed 2 other nights of movies, we'll do 3 movies tomorrow. Well, then that night we only watch 1 in the morning because it's a lot. I mean, it's just a lot. Then you want to get up and do stuff, eat, and then they want to play or whatever. And then that night he was like, Mom, we missed 2 more movies. And I was like, I know. I was like, but you were playing and I was doing house stuff. I was like, we'll do them tomorrow. And he's like, but we missed I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot with y'all. What have I done? What have I done? Yeah. So Christmas break was literally lazy.
I'm glad that y'all had such a great time. I'm glad. So it's my turn. That's enough.
Yeah, good. Let's hear it.
I was basically isolated and alone, abandoned by two of my closest friends over the holidays who refused to take my calls, call me back, which is fine. Like, people are always like, oh, if a person needs a break, but you don't know if I'm standing on a cliff. You don't know my life. You don't know what I'm going through over here. You don't know what I'm dealing with. And you don't even care enough to call me back or hit me back in a minute. It's very devastating that when I turned 42, this is what would happen to me, by two people I really consider like family. If I'm honest, I don't even really consider you guys as friends. I mean, at this point, it's like, you know, it was really sad. My husband fell ill also over the holidays, with a very serious sinus infection. And so that means that he didn't get to do anything for my birthday. So there was no birthday singing, no happy song singing. And then my two dearest friends decided, you know what? We're going to ice her out on her actual birthday. And so, that is what took place. It's very, very sad.
You have your two friends right now.
What two
right
friends?
now?
Me. I got my three friends. No, I got my three friends. Me, myself, and I. Okay. I was bored. I was actually bored. I cannot remember the last time that I actually used the word bored or that I was bored. It's just not a thing. It's not a thing. But you can only watch so much TV alone. My husband was not off for this break. He was only off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Friday, which was my birthday, he called in because he was sick. And he wasn't so sick that he couldn't do anything for me. But I really pulled the Heisman on him, stay away from me. Because last year I got really sick with him because I was letting him still cook for me and do all the things. And then he was well, and I was still hacking up a lung over here. I was like, not this year. I can't do it. You know what I mean? So I kind of kept him at arm's length. I slept downstairs all those days. And then when he felt a little bit better, he went back to work. Literally, my mom and my sister were supposed to come that second week. My sister got sick, so they didn't come. So I hadn't really made any plans. I didn't make any travel plans to go anywhere. Completely done. So that gave me a lot of time to think. I did not consume a lot of content, okay, in my alone time. I did do a silent retreat. And I'm going to tell you, let me just tell you about this silent retreat. I had a lot of thoughts in my head. And I realized, even though Amber and Olivia refused to accept this, that we actually have an unhealthy, codependent relationship, you guys. That is why I was having withdrawals, because I'm trying to figure out, why do I feel so sad? Why do I feel so alone? Why do I feel so woe is me when literally I have a car, I could do anything that I wanted to do, and I actually have other friends? It's because I'm addicted to being on the phone with you guys, FaceTiming, and then I just got cut off cold turkey. That right there? It doesn't matter why you did it. Okay, that's Olivia. Keep trying to defend yourself.
I was just gonna interject. It's so funny because I still, I just imagine you were spending time with your mom and sister. I never knew that they never came or whatever. So I didn't feel like, oh, you were just out there. And I really honestly thought you and Amber were still talking. I didn't know she left you out in the cold too. So it wasn't a plan. That's all I want.
Let me tell you though, I did talk to Courage
You would have known that my family wasn't here if you had even bothered to check in at all or respond to any of the mini calls that I sent you. Continue, Amber. Okay.
Well, one day I was talking to Courage and I was straightening it. I was making up the beds. I was just doing housework. And Alan says that he doesn't make side eyes, but he definitely makes side eyes, right? He gets so annoyed when I'm on the phone, actually laughing, enjoying my life, right? Having a good time with my friends. And he's like, ugh. And then it just did me in whenever he was outside washing the truck or something. I walked outside and then I'm still on the phone. And meanwhile, it's not up to my ear like this where nobody else can hear it. I'm on the phone. Everybody can hear the conversation. And he's he literally rolls his eyes because he's annoyed that I am on the phone. And he says, and I got off the phone. Do you remember, Kurt? I was like, I gotta go. I just gotta go.
Yes.
I got off the phone and he was like, why'd you get off the phone or whatever? And I was like, because you got an attitude. And he was like, I ain't got an attitude. I ain't doing that. I didn't do nothing. I was like, I can feel the energy of like, oh, I'm annoyed. We're our family's home today, but you decide to hang out with your friends on the phone. It gets on his last nerve, but he'll tell you it does not. It does. Because I can feel the body language right in the eye.
I know. I got one of those. It's like that. So what they're really saying is that they have good reasons for abandoning me. And I felt a way in that moment. I was thinking about my life and how was I going to move forward in the new year? I decided to resurrect the pink slip. I was thinking, dang, we've been together for so long. They've had such a great run. Am I really going to give them a pink slip? I'm like, well, I'm not even giving them a pink slip. They no call, no showing. All holiday friendship season. And so I had a lot of time to think. That's when I realized we have a codependent relationship. And, I had some withdrawal symptoms. It was like I was in rehab from you guys. I had some withdrawal symptoms and now I'm cured. I'm sober. I ain't calling y'all. I'm not going to be calling these people unless I need something. That's just how it's going to be. I'll be calling people back. I will send a text message. I'm not going to do multiple calls, multiple text messages. I'm not going to be FaceTiming all day. I've decided to find new friends that I can hang out with. And I've also decided that I am my own best friend. Okay? Who's my best friend? I am. And so when me and my best friend are bored, me and my best friend went out into Charlotte, which was great. You guys dumping me and ghosting me was the best thing that ever happened to me because I actually got in my car and it was raining. Now y'all know that's deep because I don't go nowhere if it's raining. And I went by myself to a brand new restaurant, a brand new side of town, and I really enjoyed it. And from that moment, I knew that I had broken the trans that y'all had on me. What do they call it? The soul tie. I've broken that, okay? That y'all had against me, this thing that y'all had over me. It's broken. And I've been enjoying my life ever since. So that was my holiday. It was an awakening, a renaissance. It's really a come to Jesus silent retreat experience. And as a result, like some people, they don't know it yet, but they didn't make it to the new year. They were recategorized. I've developed new categories for friendships and relationships. And I've also decided that even if you don't do anything mean, and I think this is growth for me, guys, okay? This is growth. Because in the past, I would need you to do something to me. Like you would have to piss me off in order for me to be like, oh, I'm cutting you off or something. Since I don't do the pink slips anymore. Now, when I did the pink slips, you didn't have to piss me off. I just had to look at your record and be like, you're not going to be my friend in the new year. I ain't going to be taking none of your calls. So I might as well stop calling me. I didn't ghost people. I would let them know, call them on the phone and tell them, break up with them, so to speak. But what I've decided is that you don't have to do anything mean to me. I'm not going to give you a pink slip. I am going to use the Kenny method. Mm-hmm. Olivia, you know the Kenny method? Kenny is a great man and a great leader. Okay. Who was my manager back in the day. And he did not fire us. Okay. He did not fire people. He just took their name off the schedule. So every week he'd be like, oh, did you got any hours? Nah, I ain't got no hours for you this week. You got any hours? Nah, I ain't got no hours for you this week. But he would never be like, oh, you're fired. He'd still let you come to the store. He'd say hey to you. You can still get your discount. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'd say what's up to you. He's cool. He'd be like, no, I ain't got no, I'm sorry, man. I ain't got no hours for you. So, if I get some, I'll put you on the schedule. And then that was it. Then people would eventually move on, get other jobs because they actually needed the money. And so I'm going to use his method. I'm not firing anybody. I'm not giving any pink slips. I'm just gonna, take you off the schedule. So I'm not gonna put them in rotation. That's all.
Y'all, courage is so
new
dramatic.
New year, new me. New year, guys, new me.
Oh my gosh.
First of all, over dramatic, but totally get it. Totally get it.
No, it was good.
Yeah, I think that is very funny. Yeah. It's very funny. I
Honestly,
also thought
I'm in a new season, right? I'm in a new season of life, and that's just the truth of it.
Yeah.
where, I've always had people and all these things, like taking care of my kids and my husband, and then I worked. So I was on vacation, and I
Yeah.
was very intentional about staying on vacation, because I could have easily just worked again, and that would have solved the
Yeah.
problem. I'm not bored if I work. And I'm my own boss, so I could have gone to work. But it is so important for me to force myself to rest. You are not going to die because you're bored. We act like we're going to die. You're not going to die because you're bored, girl. Sit down, it's fine. I truly believe that, so that's why I didn't go back to work or anything like that. But I am in a new season, and I have been able to be very lazy in my relationships, and like getting some social interaction. I didn't have to do any work. I had a house full of kids from age 16. I had my first kid, right? I moved, my little brother shared a room with me, to my baby sharing a room with me, to sharing a room with my now husband, right? 3 kids, husband, working during the day. And so this is really the first Christmas break where I did not work. There wasn't anyone that came to visit or anything like that. And my husband didn't work last holiday season either. My husband worked every day, right? So it's a new season, and that forces me to look at my life and some of the choices that I have now and say, okay, if I'm not enjoying this, right, what are some things that I need to do? And I really had to change my attitude about going out, right? Because y'all know I'm not going out if it's raining. I'm not doing this. Well, it's easy to have all those rules if you have all these other options. But when you don't have those options, now you're like, you know what? I ain't gonna die in the rain. Let me get in this car because I want to get out and do something. And so I did not necessarily enjoy my Christmas break. That's not the word I would use to describe it, but it was exactly what I needed. And so I'm grateful for it.
Well, I'm glad you ended it on that note.
Yeah, because I don't want people to be like, "Oh my gosh, she's so sad, she's so bitter or mad." I'm not. I'd like to dramatize my experiences for your guys' entertainment.
Yeah, but it also is very real. Yeah, but it's also very real, and I think a place of honesty, like Courage can tell Olivia and I exactly how she feels, and we're just like, okay, right, and we're just aware. It brings a lot of awareness. But also, you're 100% right. We're all at different phases. Olivia, it is her and Greg at the house. There are no children, no animals, right? It's just like if they want to have a moment and just like days upon days, just be chill, they can literally do that. They have nobody to answer to. They don't have to go do anything because it's just them. And you definitely are at a new season, which is, so I'm kind of envious of that, but also not, because it's a very crazy transition, that empty nesting type thing.
Yeah, it really is empty nest. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And then my kids are very young. So they're 7 and 9. So these days are so important for me to be on top of their attention. Like, I want to be in their space. I want to know what they're playing. I want to know what they're talking about. And I'm like I'm hitting new conversations with my kids every day. Maddox just said the other day, and he was like, what does a crush mean? Right? Like,
why did he say that?
New. Yeah.
Where he got that word from?
Yeah.
Lily, Anna, Sarah, dating. Who got a crush on him?
Yeah. Well, without going into a lot of detail, this will be another conversation, but it's just like, this is a stage where your kids are hearing things, seeing things, and us as parents, we are the safe place. So over break, it just allowed us to really bond and connect again. And just, even though that wasn't ever broken, it's just like really important to soak up that extra time when you have it. Because I'm really big on, y'all play, I'm going to go do my thing. But I was trying to be mindful and in the moment the whole time. So definitely different seasons. We obviously are not trying to ignore each other. It's just we're doing different things.
Life.
Yeah. But you know what? Let me tell y'all.
You gotta have friends enough. Like, here's the honest truth too. Like, I want people to be paying attention to. We are still friends, by the way.
Oh,
like,
100%. Yeah.
This Christmas break did not turn into, and I think that's important, because sometimes people will go through a season where it's like, I felt alone, I felt isolated, I called them, they didn't call me back, oh, they done. Right? Yeah. You have to give people, I mean, you don't have to, you can keep getting new friends all the time, whatever, that's your business. But I think healthy relationships allows for people to make their own priorities. If my friends cannot make their own priorities, then it's really a dictatorship, right? Like, you have to talk to me, and if you don't do this, you're not a good friend. Well, am I a good friend if that is what I require of you in a season where you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah.
Yeah, I told them a lot over the break. Because after the break, when we did start talking again, they were like, "Oh, let me do this." I was like, "Y'all are some hypocrites," because these two love to be like, "I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that, I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that," and then as soon as I do it, they're like, I'm like, "Shut up." After
Yeah,
the
here's the
conversation,
thing. I don't take calls during work. I just like to point that out too. They're
no,
right. My focus time is on. I'm
focus
not
time
taking
on
calls
all the
doing
time.
work. Yeah, it is because I'm always
Which
working.
is so
On
annoying.
vacation, when I actually turn my focus time off and my ringer on, I think my phone rang like maybe 5 times. I was like, this right here, this I keep my time on focus. Then I don't even feel bad. Like, oh, nobody loves me.
Selfishly, I did think probably 4 or 5 times over break, and I was like, this is why I want all of us in the same like city, right? We're in the same, well, not any longer. Olivia's in Tallahassee, but me and Courage are an hour away from each other, an hour drive, which doesn't seem that far when you get in the car to go. But I'm like, if we could be in the same city, right? Because I literally wanted to have all of my people. I'm just like that type of person. I just want to have all the people around me. Not everybody, actually. Not everybody's invited. Just people I actually do love and care about. So don't get any, like, people be like, oh. I'm like, this is why. I could be like, what are you and Greg doing? Y'all cooking? We're going to come over. Oh, y'all made that spaghetti? I want some. I want a plate for lunch. Like, I want to be at y'all's house, whatever that looks like, you know?
Yeah.
Will that ever happen? I don't know.
One day.
Time.
It used to happen.
One of the other things I did too with my kids, because my oldest turned 26 over the Christmas break, January 4th. Micah turned 26. And we did a little something, that was on a Wednesday or something like that. So we just left gifts and a balloon because she had plans, and so she went out or whatever. Fine. But I just started thinking, like, I have to be more intentional this time with myself to think. Just showed me, like, I also have to be very intentional about my children, because even when they first moved out, they didn't really have lives, right? Like, they didn't really have things they were doing. They were always over here, which was super annoying. And now they have work and work schedules, and they're dating, and they have all these things. And Micah's doing overnight, and she's going out of town. And, like, all of these things are happening. If I don't coordinate something, I may not get to see all 3 of them. Now I get to see them. Everybody comes by, but I don't get to necessarily see them all at the same time, which I really enjoy, because I think that's important for us as a family. So we went out to eat. I'm like, I put in the group chat, we're going to go out to eat. Kyra's like, well, how much is it? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's my treat. She was like, word, right? That is what they're adults. Come and eat with me. I will pay for your meal. You can get anything you want. That is easy. And so we've decided we're going to do it once a month. I've told them to look around for different places, different restaurants they want to try. I put it in the group chat. There was no cell phone except for at the very beginning to take pictures, Snapchat. My son couldn't make it. And so we wanted him to feel bad for not being able to make it. So the next time he'll want to come, right? Like, see what you missed by not responding to me in a timely fashion, right? You got to teach these kids a lesson. So we put that in the group chat. And so that was another great thing that came from that time of isolation. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just gave me time to reflect. And so now that's a new thing we're going to be doing.
Aww.
So super, like, I am so excited about it. And we had a really good time laughing, talking about all kinds of nonsense. We rode in the same car together. It wasn't like meet us there. Like, we all rode together. So it was really a lot of great things came from my forced silent retreat. So it was good.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
that's so good.
I love that a lot. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. And the conversations you have now with them being like really adults, not kids anymore, is very interesting, I'm sure. So
yes, it is.
It's a lot.
Because the youngest one is 20. And so they just will talk about
all the things.
I'm like, can we change the subject? But Mom, we want you to know. I'm like, no, I want us to have a fake relationship. If this is a real life, let's go back to fake, because I actually do not want to talk about that. Kyra is my oversharer. I'm like, did you think like, oh, I'm about to share this thing with my mom? And you thought, ooh, yep, I should. She's like, yes, Mom, we're besties. I have to tell you everything. Please don't.
Please do not. Oh my gosh, that's really funny. Well, we're 30 minutes in. Let's get
Okay, yeah,
some
let's
goal
actually get to something,
setting.
right? So,
Yes.
what are some new things, right? Because we're talking about all the things that we did and time to reflect and be with our family and have the burnout. Did this lead you to any new ideas for the new year? Like, as a result of this time that I've had, I'm going to be more intentional about this, or these are some of the goals that I've set for the new year, or I'm going to start my process of goals. So, anybody want to hit on any of those things? I know I kind of tossed a lot out there, but who'd like to let Olivia go first?
Yeah, go for
it. Yeah, so definitely the time of just like being burnt out. Like I feel like I still haven't broke the unburnt out cycle because, well, in a way, I've created some digital things, but I haven't created anything with my hands as of yet. I think I'm gonna break it tomorrow or today or tomorrow, because I literally haven't created anything in a couple days as far as like hands with my hands. Not a couple days, like weeks, 2-3 weeks. I don't know. And then, but you know, I've already been like working digitally, creating things or whatever. But yeah, so some of the things that I'm going to implement in 2023 this year. First thing is I have this board that I'm working on, and it's a dry erase board, but I'm customizing it. And so I want to, because in the past years, I always have like my physical calendar, which is great. I have like, I might have like a little things to do, like dry erase board or something like that we've had in the studio before, or I've had those in my offices or whatever as well. But I'm going to try a new thing where it's just like I see it every day up on my wall or whatever. So I'm gonna have like my top priorities for the week, top priorities for the day on there. Just some different categories, how I'm going to organize the dry erase board and customize it. So I'm hoping that will. So I've been working on that because it's a whole little project. So been working on that. So I'm going to finish that up this week. I'm going to implement bullet journaling, not just like journaling or whatever, but for my calendar per se. So more like, it's more like creative, but it's also going to allow me to like write in there every single day, hopefully, and try to add some structure there as well. So those are things like seeing it up on the wall, priorities and things like that. That's one of the things I'm going to implement. A different type of calendar. I've tried lots of different calendars over the years. So I'm going to try this version for 2023, or at least the first half, or just kind of see where it leads me, if it's a good plan or not. Because I am a person who believes that, you know, if it doesn't work, then, you know, try something else. But I definitely will give it a great run to see if that works for me. So that's some of the things like structural, like this is processes that I'm going to have in 2023. Yeah. And then other than that, some of my goals are just to be more creative. And so in different outlets, I'm going to be adding some different things that I create to my regimen. I also want to I want to do more fun things. So I was also thinking about, because I work from home, I'm going to try to go to the library at least once a month to like work, look at books. I recently went to the library, not the library. The
I was like, I didn't think, okay.
The bookstore.
Yeah, because the library is not quiet.
Barnes and Noble, right?
Yeah, Barnes and Noble, yes.
Okay.
I recently went there and I was thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, me and Kurt used to go to Barnes and Noble all the time back in the day. And I was like, that's probably why I used to read more, because you go into Barnes and Noble, you see all the books, you blah, blah, blah. And it just makes you like, oh, I want to read this. It's so many books that I was like, I want to read all of these books or whatever, because it's like in my mind. But if I sit home all day, obviously I got some books, whatever. I've read most of the books I own. So it's like, you know, just putting it in that, being in that atmosphere, I think will allow me to like see new books that are coming out and just read more in 2023. And just be in a different atmosphere, have a little bit more different focus. Like I have no distractions at my home now, for the most part. So I don't really have distractions, but I feel like you are, sometimes when you're in a different environment or you're experiencing a different experience, you tend to be more productive because like you're just changing it up. And so over the holiday time, me and my friends, we did like a co-working day where we did. See, this is that thing. It was only like two of us that was really working because the rest of them kept on saying, "Oh, let's do a co-working day," with their air quotes up. It was like, let's do a working day. But it turned out only two of us was very serious about the work. And so, but we did, it was very fun. And I don't even know. I think sometimes when I think about the friends that I have, the family that I have, my family of friends that I have, I could really just cry because it's just so crazy that I have like such amazing friends in Charlotte, but then my friends in Tallahassee, they just, first of all, I didn't even know this. Like when they told me like, oh, we're going to do this co-working thing or whatever, where, we're going to Kia was going to cook brunch and everybody was, because some of us work from home, some of us don't, but some of us have more of a relaxed schedule where they can kind of move around. And so it was, so they said we're going to do this, and I was like, oh yeah, that would be cool or whatever. And then when we came there, they were like, oh, Olivia, we did this because we thought this would make you feel like, oh, because I would tell them, I've told them before that, oh, it's different in Tallahassee because like when I was in Charlotte, I worked with my friends, so it was like, it's like I had coworkers, whatever. We were working on stuff together. Some of us were, whatever. And they're like, oh, we did this because we thought, it would make you feel like you're back in Tallahassee, like working with your friends again. I was like,
or back in Charlotte.
I mean, Charlotte. Yeah, back in Charlotte. I was like, y'all are so sweet. And so the reason why I brought that up is because one of the girls that was there.
First of all, are they sweet or are they just trying to take over Courage?
I think I want to take over, but it's the new year, new me, so I wasn't going
to throw So Junior, he was there, he was working, he's in like finance, and he was like, I was actually really productive today because me and him, we was the only one on our computers like typing in or whatever. And he was like, I actually got a lot of work done today. I was like, yes. So funny how you can be more productive sometimes in just a different environment because he works from home. And so it's not like his children are in school. So it's not like he has a lot of distractions during the day because it's just him there, but just being in a different atmosphere allowed him to feel more productive. And I'm like, sometimes you just need that. So in 2023, I definitely want to focus in going to Barnes and Nobles, finding other little cute cafes and workshops and coffee shops and stuff like that to where I can, when I have my back end days, that I can go and work and just be inspired, see other people feel more productive. So I definitely want to implement that into 2023 because I feel like kind of had that in Charlotte, moved to Tallahassee, didn't have that the whole summer, was still trying to find my way. And I feel like, oh, I need this back in 2023.
I have to say something here. It's so funny because I just wonder as a listener what this person's listening or thinking right now as you're explaining this. Because as you're explaining it, I am putting myself in your position. Like, how would I feel at Barnes and Noble working? How would I feel at a coffee shop working? And I think everybody's very different. Obviously, I'm very different, and this is my take. I could go to y'all's house and work because I know y'all, right? So if y'all are having a conversation, because I'm a nosy person, I could be focused on something, and then I could be like, oh, but when I get done with this, I can ask them what just happened, right? I'd be like, so tell me what happened again. I was over here working on something, right? And y'all would like, oh, fill me in. Well, if I was in a public place and strangers are around and they're having a conversation, I can't ask them to repeat themselves. And I feel like I would be like this. I would be staring at them. I did it yesterday. We went to go eat at Olive Garden. And I'm so bad. We were
She's
in like
so
the little,
nosy.
I really am. We were in the little section. It's like you walk in the door, right? And then they have a little area, and then you walk through the other door through Olive Garden, right? So we're in that little section. So when everybody's coming in, they're just huddled and they're all like, and I am staring hardcore at these people having a conversation. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
and then I catch myself and I'm like, I am so rude. What is wrong with me? Stop it. So if I worked out, I get it. Being in a different space, I love that. But I would be so distracted. So,
yeah, first of all, you can't have music on. Amber is the person who, in a working environment, she can't have music. It's certain times. Like she'll be like, oh, it's like your brain even forgets that you can't have music because some days she will turn on the music. She'll be like, oh, well, listen to music. The music will be on for like 10 minutes. She'll be like, oh, I gotta turn this off. I'm like, girl, make up your mind. Like she cannot focus. Like it takes a lot of brain power. And I think it depends on the task. Like I feel like that sometimes is like that for me, depending on the task at hand or whatever. Because if I'm like writing or typing, one of the things I was working on when we did that brunch was emails. I couldn't do that now. I could not write emails and be in no coffee shop or around people because I needed all my. I was trying to do work on one email for an hour. I was like, oh, I need to change tasks because this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Okay.
Yeah.
I need all my brain power.
If any of them are good at writing emails, like that would be beneficial because then y'all are working together and you could get suggestions or whatever. I think that's nice in a co-working space too. If you're working with somebody that's willing to help, or give advice. I think that's always kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Courage looked into a co-working space during break. Don't be acting like we didn't see each other during break because we actually went out. But but there were pros and cons to this place. We pull in, Courage is like, it is beautiful. We get in and the aesthetic is so cute. It's so really quaint. But then when we sat there, Courage had a whole other perspective. So you'll have to tell them about that.
Yeah, I'm looking at, because I don't want to see kids where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like small children. They were like, maybe, they seemed probably like high school kids. It was during Christmas. It was like Christmas break already. So maybe it doesn't look like that. I feel like high school, but it could have been college. I said I'm going to go back now that school's back in session. Maybe the little chaps are back in school. Because just it's like you said, it's like a vibe. When I look up and I look around, I want to see a very diverse group of people, a mixed group of people, right? I prefer diverse, but if it's not diverse, I want people who look like me. And that's just me being 100% honest. My first choice would be like all types of different people. So I just be looking, right? Like it's just, the people are part of the aesthetic for me in a co-working space. I don't want to be the only person in the room who looks like me in the space. And that is kind of what it was. I was the only person in the room who looked like me. And they were young. I do not want that. For what? These little kids. The way they grinning and talking. I mean, I like kids at a school. I don't want them in my co-working space. So I'm going to try it again, actually, because they had like, food and stuff like that. And I love the way it looked, the decorations. I loved the aesthetic of the actual physical place. And I love that they had a coffee shop in there. Like I absolutely loved all of those things. That co-working, no, that little space right there, that was not for me. But it did spark something, right? So it's funny that you should say that this is what you're looking for, because I'm also looking for remote workspaces also.
And I'll have to pause and freeze because Courage has had a remote working space at the studio.
But it's not a good working space because when I go there, even if I go on the days where I don't have to record, Amber's new schedule requires her to record the entire time, right? It is a markedly much shorter workday for me. A standard workday is really like my best time is really like 10 to 3. Or even like 9 to 3 or 9 to 4. But we're leaving at 2:00. Like we are packing up at 1:45 because we're leaving at 2, which means we're not really stopping for lunch, right? We don't have time for lunch. we're eating lunch and working at the same time. But I like to get out and like see the cutesy little things. You know what I mean? We're not doing that because we got to stop early. So it's like, well, we can't really go out because we ain't got a lot of time. So we're just gonna stay here. So it just doesn't. It's not enough for me. That's just at the end of the day. If I'm gonna leave my house, I'm gonna get everything I want. I ain't gonna. If not, I can stay home. You know what I'm saying? No, I am fully dressed, so it's not like, oh, I don't have to get dressed. I'm fully dressed right now. I thought about Olivia when I put my shoes on. I don't have on sneakers. I actually have on Crocs right now, but they're still technically shoes. I just didn't put my sneakers on yet this morning. But once I put my sneakers on, I will have them on until I get ready.
Until midnight, y'all. She had on her sneakers until midnight the other night. I'm like, who does that? Who in their right mind put on sneakers at their house and then
I'm dressed? I work from home. And I had a call right in the evening or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were working. I'm not just home chilling with my shoes on. If I'm working and my work day was not over, taking my shoes off marks the end of my work day. It's a great transition for me. But yeah, I'm going to be looking for co-working space, coffee shops as well, doing the restaurant thing with the kids. Oh, God, this dog is under here. I got nothing to spray. Jesus, help me. It's way over there. Y'all don't even know how toxic it smells in here.
Oh, it's toxic, guys.
Yeah, Kingston's under the desk right now sleeping, and he's just passing gas. Big, funky pit bull just stinks. Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't know how. Get up.
It scrambled my brain a little bit.
Yes, the smell is oozing into your pores. Get up. Oh my gosh, you're grossing me out.
First of all.
Okay, well, let me tell y'all this. So, the beginning of the year, I really encourage everybody listening.
First of all,
cut me off.
I'm cutting you off because you Scrabble brain with the Kingston underneath you.
Go ahead. You can take over.
So and you can tell us what you're doing in 2023 too.
Yeah, what you doing?
No, you. Oh yeah,
you. Amber, I'm looking for co-working space, shops. I'm gonna go to eat at a new place. New places, regardless of traffic or parking. I'm basically going to get over myself or rain so that I can have the experiences that I want. I'm doing that. I'm going to travel more this year. I'm doing international travel. I don't know where I'm going yet. It's either going to be Dubai, Panama City, Paris, or Bali.
This year, 23, you said Dubai's next year.
I did not say that. I said I don't know where I'm going. It's going to be based on dates, times, and my availability because I got stuff I got to do. I'm going to Las Vegas this year also. So I'm going to be doing just a lot more traveling. What? Yeah, I'm doing the most. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling this year. So I'm excited about that. What else? Those are my goals, like traveling, my fun stuff. Other than that, like my only real goals, like where I'm like working on it every week, working on it every month, is to lose weight, which I have not had a goal to lose weight in years. It's been a goal like, oh, I'd like to lose weight. Like this is what I'm going to be doing such and such. I'm going to be working out. This year, I'm tracking pounds. I'm not tracking activity. I have to track activity in order to get the weight off. But like that is my actual focus, is to lose weight. Please miss me with all the whatever you're about to say because I know I look good. I'm fine. It's why I struggle to lose weight because I also have eyes in a mirror. And every time I walk past the mirror, clothes on or clothes off, I'm like, okay, girl, you cute out here. Okay, I see you. I actually feel that way. But I want to have more energy. I just want to feel good. I want to look and feel my absolute best. And so whatever that looks like. And I have a finance goal this year also to save an additional 12 grand above what we save normally. Like I'd like to save an additional 12 grand this year, which is fine, which just means I have to reduce my spending. And I do like a lot of like extra. Y'all know how I am. I'm extra. I'm bougie. I'm not going there. I'm not eating it. I'm eating at RH 2 and 3 times a week. Like you doing the most, girl. So that's. But if somebody wants to treat me, I'll still go 2 to 3 times a week. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing this year.
I love
Those are
it.
my
I
goals.
love all of that. Oh, it sounds like y'all really got your life together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
what
what
about
Y'all
you
feel so
do?
good. I don't know if I have my life together that deep. I Okay, so let me just say this. Ending last year, even the beginning of December, I was just already thinking about things I don't want to do next year. I think because that's kind of I'm just not doing that again. And one thing I want to change and do different is promote more of what I currently have instead of creating new. And so I think I have a lot of amazing things within all the things that I put my hands in, right? And I'm like, I just want to bring more awareness to that. So I'm just super focused on that piece of it. What does that look like? I'm still breaking all of that down for every single thing that I have. But for the most part, I just want to be in a space of just giving a full overview of how I work, what my life really is, not in a way of I just want people to know what I do because I just want to be like, oh, look at me. I just want, as an outsider that consumes a lot of content on YouTube as well with different people that do different things, I feel so connected to that person and I get attached and kind of like sucked into like their life and their story. And it's really exciting. And so, and it's super, super inspiring. I get very inspired by what other people do. If it's like a good or a bad thing or whatever, I get inspired by that one way or another. And so I just want to do that with my content this year. I want to get closer to my audience. And I don't say it in a way that I don't mean it, but I actually want to know who my audience is, right? Like I know my people, but I want to know my people. And so that's why last year I opened up a membership because I really want to talk to people online. I enjoyed in the past my relationships with my customers. Like I actually knew my customers and what they did. And like we would get together to do certain things, but we were spending so much time. How's your family? Oh, what was your mom doing? And just like catching up, as you do with like relatives and that you don't see often, you just do a catch up. And so I just get excited about that with my audience and who's consuming what I have. And I just have to always remember that I want to be the influence on somebody in a positive way, right? So my content, that's what I'm focused on this year, is just promoting more about what I have, just because what I do have is really good to help them in any way because it's highly requested. That's why it was created. Or the content that I am making for them or new members in my audience is when they watch it, they just feel inspired to do something in their life,
Yeah.
I'm a type 1 diabetic, so my sugar levels are not always the best. So that has a lot to do with like how I feel or what I end up having energy to do. And I'm just like very mindful of, I eat pretty healthy, but you have to be really good at your consuming good stuff as a diabetic. So I just want to be mindful of like what I'm putting in is also what you're going to see on the outside. So energy level, my skin, my attitude, because my attitude fluxes a lot, Alan tells me. And because I can be on a high when my sugar's up and then I can crash and be like on a low burn, right? So I just want to be mindful of like my health this year too, what I'm actually putting in my body. So Courage got a juicer. You didn't tell anybody this, but this needs to be another episode. Yeah. And I'm so going to get the one she has because it's amazing. It's the Nama, right?
The Nama J2.
Yeah. So my sister has a juicer and so does my mom, but it's a different one. It's the one you feed, right? Instead of putting all your things and it juices it, you feed it. So I'm going to use hers this week. She brought it to my house and I'm going to actually go today and get some juice stuff. And I just want to be mindful of getting all of my greens and my fruits and vegetables in. And I just started taking athletic greens. This is not sponsored by them, but it should be. Right. Taking that and just actually moving my body. I think last year I do a lot of working now where I sit down. I don't have to get up and physically move. So that's kind of it's kind of a cripple, right? Because I sit down and record a makeup video or I sit down and work on my computer and I move in my life, but not actively like moving to burn any calories and just to get my energy feeling good in my body and my muscles. So I just want to feel physically better when I am moving my body. So movement this year is one thing. traveling with the family in our camper, going to some new spots. We enjoy doing that. We haven't really gone over to the West Coast. We're normally East Coast. We've gone north, not really south in the camper, but go to some new spots that we have in mind and moving my body so I just feel physically better, So every day is consistent, not a good day and a bad day, right? And just connecting more with my audience. I think those are where my focus is. But I do like to do a goal poster. And instead of doing a visual like pictures, I wrote words this year. And just so I can read those words every day. Because I think I can visualize it all day in my head. And I think that's amazing. But I want to physically see the words, and speak those words. And so the kids did it. I did it. Alan hasn't finished it. But we kind of do it as a family anyways and have a conversation at the table like the day after New Year's Day, and we just sit down and kind of talk about it. And the kids are like, my goal is to go get more toys at Target. I'm like, that ain't what we're doing. What do you want to do better in your life? But kids, at different stages in their life are going to be very different. So we had to explain it to them. But I think the older they get, it'll just be this habit because we've been doing it since they were really young. Because I've always done it, and I just kind of told them that that's something we all want to do. But that's my goal this year. That's my focus.
That is so good.
I like it.
But I do like your concept, Olivia, for the whiteboard. I'm actually going to be taking my beauty room and I have to make it more of like a workspace beauty room. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. When you were like your whiteboard and your things, like when you're in there, you see it. I think that's really good.
I have only one right here right now. There's a whiteboard right there. I probably need to move that one over here so that I can see it and you don't actually see it that's always why I move it. Cause if it was up there right now, you'd be able to see it and it's not that cute or whatever. But what I have up there right now so that I can look at it when I work. So I can look at it when I'm working. And I use the big, huge Post-it because it'll be up there for some time, like maybe a couple months or whatever. And then now I've got that and now I need to move on to the next thing or whatever, or I need to put something else up there. So I have it up there. I think I write cuter on paper than I do on the dry erase. Anyways, those dry erase markers are so dry. They're so long.
I know. And that's why I'm doing mine a little bit more, in a sense, a little bit more creative, doing mine a little extra because I'm going to actually put vinyl on my board so it's just not like all white. I'm going to have like boxes and categories and like top 3 and things that I'm going to write on there with vinyl. That's like, okay, these are things I want to do every single week. So I
want to see a picture of this because I need to you see me cutting her off. I'm rude. I want to see a picture of this because I want to redo my vision board. I'm taking all of those things off. I think it was great for the season it was in. I have a corkscrew vision board. I'm taking all of those things off. The reason I haven't done it yet is because I don't know what I'm going to yet do. So I've just kind of just left it. So I definitely want to see yours when it's done because I might be copying it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. No, I think. I think it's going to be better, and it's going to be like right in front of this desk. And I also wanted it to be cute because when I record on this side, it's going to be in the shot, kind of not focus, but it'll be in the shot. So I did want it to be a little bit on the cuter end. So yeah, that's why I'm doing that, because I think it's just seeing it. I've watched a lot of like I said, I watched a lot of content and a lot of people who are creative. That was like a running thread that I saw in their studios. Is like they had this big whiteboard, and it was like, actually, the funny enough is I thought about the whiteboard before I even saw them doing it, and then once I saw it, I'm like, yeah, this solidified like my idea behind doing it. Because I was like, yeah, it's just, you see it, it's big. Every single day you walk into your office, it's like, boom, this is what I need to accomplish or whatever. So I think it's gonna work. And I also like the big Post-it notes. I think I want to maybe, because the whiteboard will be over my desk, so it won't be as easy to be like writing on it all the time. So I think I'm gonna do these white Post-its on my door over there. Those big Post-its on my door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can have
Those
like a longer
Post-its
list.
There's one right here that Courage has left up here. I ain't taking it down either. Do you
I meant
need
to
it?
take it down when I was there. I don't know. I need to take a picture
Exactly.
of it.
I feel like I'm a throwaway queen. If it was on the ground, it would have already been trashed. But because it's on the wall, I'm like, she'll be in here one day and be like, what did I write? Where is that? And I'll be like, yikes.
Yeah. Don't throw away my things.
I need to take a picture of it though, probably, and then take it down.
Yeah, and then you can take it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll need to take it down.
Calm down.
She don't need
calm
to,
down.
but she just wants to.
I know,
I'm about to take your desk to my house. Y'all, I got to tell y'all about this after this podcast, but I got to figure out between my windows, the long desk from IKEA, not the ones that we have for the vanities now, but the longer one. I want to see if that'll fit between my windows because I think I'm going to replace my really gorgeous, I'm not going to get rid of it, my gorgeous mirror vanity at home. It's just not big enough for recording. It's like stuff falls off of it, and I have not enough.
It's not enough
space.
surface space. Yeah.
Yeah, and I struggle recording at home because of that, and I'm doing all my new makeup videos in my in-home beauty space, and I'm like, I've got to get a bigger.
So you thinking about taking the vanity from the office and putting it in your room? Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the 2 big drawers, put them in there, get the new top. Wow. Right, that's all I need is the top, and then I'm going to take my other lights from here home because the ones I have don't give off enough light. In my windows that are beside me are great, but they fight each other. So I'm going to get black poster board. So when I record, I put it in the windows, and then that way I'm not fighting against. Because I'm like, oh, I'll record at night. Ideally, hey, recording at night, girl, please. I'm not. I'm exhausted. So I was like, I've been really trying to put this together, and I'm like, how can I do it? So I'm gonna have to do that for sure. Yeah.
That's good.
I think this is great. We've all got some plans, some changes that we're
one thing. I want to say one thing because I don't think okay, so over the break, obviously you guys know we watched some TV and we all watched Emily in Paris or whatever. And so
yes, it was
so good. But did you guys know who Emily from Emily in Paris is? You guys know her real name?
What's her real name? Olivia?
Her real name is Lily Collins.
Lily Collins?
Yeah. Do you guys know her dad is Phil Collins?
Really?
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes.
Google this real quick.
What?
Look it up.
I can feel it coming.
Is that him? Yeah, that's him. Yes. I was like, I did not.
I've been waiting for this moment. Wrong.
It's his daughter.
Wow.
Like, wow.
This dude right here?
Yep.
Yes.
That's her dad.
Wow.
Yeah. That is so crazy.
No, isn't that wild, though, that these actors that we are seeing, right? It is like, but they have been in this, not really in this industry, but kind of like in the industry, right? In a way, in a sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't obviously get handed to them, but it's like the connections and just like who people are. That's crazy.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Who's her mama?
Crazy.
I don't know who her mom is. I just know that's her dad.
That is so good. I watched the bloopers of Emily in Paris, which was so even more made me fall in love with the characters. Because I was like, I really love this show.
Yeah, I love that show. It's just so cute. Do you know what I mean? Like
so cute.
A little drama. It's a little drama and a lot of cute. And it's Paris, and it makes me want to go back to Paris. It makes me want to start a whole new life and be like, well, why didn't I decide to live in Paris? Why didn't I decide to go there, even though I don't speak French? She didn't speak French. I could do it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, she tried. She's speaking it.
Exactly.
It's such a good show.
It was a good show. And the character, the Asian character, they made her role a singer because she is a singer. She's like on Broadway and all that kind of stuff.
And she was also on the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
She was?
Yeah, from way back. My kids watch that show. Yeah.
Wow. I really like her. She's actually very funny. Her character is hilarious.
She actually can really sing.
Yeah, even in French. So
I know.
amazing.
I know. It's so crazy. Yeah, she has a really good voice. Yeah. So yeah, that's our little trivia for the little known facts.
We should start sharing little unknown facts.
Yeah,
at the end. Wait till the end. Yeah.
Quiet as it's kept. That's Phil Collins' thought.
Well, thank you guys. Great. Yeah, go ahead, Courage.
I thought this was great. I want you guys to be sure to share this podcast with your friends. We're going to do a better job of sharing the podcast with our friends because our friends don't even know we have a podcast. We're going to start sharing it. Now they can just binge and get caught up, right? That's because we love to binge. And so now you can binge and get caught up. But we'd also love to hear from you guys. So use the hashtag MyCEOSquad on social media. We're following those hashtags so that we can hear about what your goals are. You can tell us about your Christmas. Let us know who you resonate with. If you love me and you feel like, oh my gosh, you cannot believe that my friends treated me that way, please let the world know that you stand with Courage. Hashtag I'm with Courage. Okay, thank you guys for your support.
Oh my
Free Courage, Melina. All right. I love you guys.
See ya. Give us a 5-star rating and hit subscribe, and we'll check you out next time. Bye.
Bye.